I can't believe I just saw the most generic ass horror flick of this year. And I'm genuinely not kidding. So Yo Sung Ho, if you guys don't know, he's the director of Train to Busan. He recently made a new film called Colony. And I've seen it with my family today. And let me tell you what, this film is so fucking generic. Other than the makeup effects of like most of the zombies, I should put the points here. Zombies, and also like the cinematography, everything just looks fine. It was not like amazing or anything. It was just like very decent. But that's the only good part of the movie. The other bad part of this movie, wow, there was a lot of them. There was so many flaws with this movie that I can't point like so many of them because this film really pisses me the fuck off. So firstly, the story. The story, very generic, nothing to be said about it, you know. Besides the fact that they're trying to ruin my logic just for a little bit. What do you mean by a professor or something work at the laboratory or something that actually invented a so-called like viruses that is going to trick humans and turn them into zombies, even though they are not zombies. In this movie, spoiler alert, the professor said that, oh, I want to turn you into the future evolution of a human. That was literally just said absolutely nothing other than, I don't know, the director just wanted to be extra just for a bit so that he could said that, oh, I'm not making a horror flick, I'm not making a zombie film. This was new. This was a film about zombies, but they were not zombies. They were literally just an extraterrestrial human being that was being evolved from acting normal. So now the zombies just doing absolutely nothing other than crawling around. But sometimes these zombies are not really zombies at all. It was just like, oh, so they are like humans, but they can also like listen, act like a human being when they see something, when they hear something. Oh, I guess when they smell something, but their face looked like zombies. As of the fact that they looked like they was just like smoking a packs of like the C word and also a lot of bath salts, I guess, because their face definitely looked like it. And also the character itself, man, like everything from the start of this movie, everything seems to work well. But that was until like in the middle and also like the at the end of the movie. This is where most of the characters in the movie went from generic just straight out like fucking bad people. I can't judge the fact that this film really heavily solidifies that Korean police are so fucking corrupted and is so fucking stupid. They're really just terrible at their job, just letting along with the zombies actually eating them alive when they were trying to save the people. Yeah, I need to use the abbreviation so much because they are not doing shit. They are not doing anything right at all. This Korean police in this fucking movie fucking sucks. Let me tell you this. The police in my country, yeah, I mean they suck, but at least we know. But for the Korean police, though, in the entire rest of South Korea, yeah, I can tell you that this whole country is so corrupted. But I can't believe this movie really heavily encapsulates my point that this fucking movie doesn't even do any justice to its own human being at all because it's just how bad it is. We are introduced to the main character who is like, I guess she was like one of the ex-wife of like somebody who is like trying to who is already married to like somebody, and then somebody was also like working with the police as well. Yeah, apparently not every single one of the characters in this fucking movie that was part of the cast itself was a decent human being at all. Well, except for that woman in the wheelchair and the security guard, at least they actually did something that was trying to help. But the story just went so fucking generic and was so bad that they just completely like take them over. They just take them out of the fucking screen, just let them eat in the zombies alive. And then we also had one of these annoying fucking people and also some high schoolers, I think so. And there was this like bully character who forgives like like somebody who was with them with the team. I don't know. An hour later, it's so fucking generic. We had all these cast members that were so fucking generic, even generic than fucking Train to Busan. You could say that I generally hate everything about this movie. You could say that I don't even know how to enjoy this fucking movie. But let me tell you, I would enjoy Train to Busan whenever I want, and it would totally looks better. It would totally sounds better than whatever the fuck this movie is trying to pull it out. Because when it comes to the marketing of this fucking film, they said that this was like a prequel to Train to Busan, even though that Train to Busan had a sequel that doesn't even line up to anything at all. And also the marketing of this movie completely just kind of like solidifies or trying to prove that this movie was actually connected to Train to Busan at all because they got the same director, the same producer, the same fucking everything except for the companies that actually work on it. But at the end, it was a completely different movie. They just completely slapped the title of the director who actually worked on Train to Busan just because he made Train to Busan. And I can't fucking imagine. I can't believe that this actually get into a Canvas selection. This shit was actually the official selection to the Canvas Film Festival. Why? Why? I know that this movie actually looks decent as a zombie film. You know, like the makeup of the zombies actually looks pretty good, and it actually works pretty well most of the time when they actually crawl like a fucking zombie. But the thing is that this film is not a zombie film. It was a supernatural, like human flick or something that actually trying to proves, they try to I don't know slaps the title of a zombie film on it, even though that this film was absolutely not a fucking zombie. Yeah, I think that's it for the characters, and that, and now is the bad part of this fucking film. The bad part, and also like everything that actually happens in this movie is just because of that one fucking man in this fucking movie that I fucking hate the most. And it was I don't know this name, but I think his name starts with like Sue or something. Yeah, that fucking dude, the dude with the green jacket that looks like a completely fucking jerk, and then just fucking touring around with the rest of the cast itself just because he was a fucking asshole. He was the sole reason that all of this fucking thing happened in the movie, and he is also the sole reason why the zombie outbreaks has become so fucking massive. It's just because of this one dude, and the movie has to tie in him with. They had to tie him with some like the laws that humans like act like monkeys, so when they're actually getting affected they would just crawl like a fucking monkey, like an insane like psychotic person crawl around in the rest of the public and of the entire masses just because he was so instantly with the idea that he's going to let every single human become like the massive human being that they were, even though that it doesn't really doesn't really proves anything like what's wrong with him. It doesn't even judge us like what the fuck is wrong with actually with his brain or this idea. I know about this idea and what he's actually doing until before like the end of the movie. Cause he just completely says that, I was left alone or something like shit like that. So what? So then you just created an entire outbreak so that you could actually like trying to fuck with every single humanity just because your dad fucking left you. Seriously, fuck you. This fucking dude, his moral lesson doesn't even make any sense, and his entire idea of like a human evolution makes no fucking sense because just how boring and generic it was. Yeah, I think that's pretty much for the entire movie review of this whole thing. In the end, this movie is completely decent as a zombie flick, but if you took the entire logic and the entirety of the story away, it would completely ruin your brain. So yeah, I gave this movie a fucking, I guess a 5 out of 10. This shit is a 5 out of 10. People said that this was like 7.98 out of 10, something like it was a fucking like Shakespeare. No, this shit is not Shakespeare. It was the most generic looking zombie movie of the century I've ever seen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch The Backrooms very soon on June 4th. So see ya.